Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this week's video we're visiting the exciting Richborough Roman Fort and Amphitheatre, located on the marshes of East Kent. This historically important site has witnessed both the beginning and almost end of Roman rule, welcoming travellers and trade from across the Roman Empire. So join us today whilst we explore the 4 centuries of life in Roman Britain, here at Richborough Roman Fort. The town of Richborough now rests 2 miles inland on the marshes, but in Roman times it was once a small island at the southern end of the important once Sea Channel, which would divide the Isle of Thanet from Kent. Incredibly, it's thought that the Roman Emperor Claudius's invading force of 40,000 men would land here in AD 43. Which of course would have been quite a complex and monumental military operation. The army would quickly build a defensive barrier across the island in the form of 2 deep, parallel V-shaped ditches with a rampart on the seaward side that would run for at least 650 metres in line with the coastline. The fortification would have defended the invasion beachhead, giving that all-important protection to troops, ships and supplies. In the area of what is now East Kent, the Roman troops encountered little to no resistance, and the army could advance to campaign further inland. Richborough became its supply base. There is evidence of this through the large storehouses and granaries that were found during excavation. The stores would have done well to provide the troops with their provisions and all that they could need as they made their way inland. The base would later develop into a thriving port town, known all throughout the Roman world as Rutupiae. The Roman invasion was a major milestone in history. It's known that Richborough witnessed over 360 years of Roman rule, from the very beginning to its bitter end. But being able to step inside, around and atop this 8-metre high gateway reconstruction, you can look out and just imagine what the Romans might have first seen, and it is quite the experience. The gateway reconstruction has been built on the foundations on the original timber gate and tower, first built on the site. The newly built gatehouse is 8 metres tall, built in oak using Roman woodworking techniques and handmade nails. It's thought to be based on a column in Rome. The views you can get from up here over the site are really quite remarkable, especially on a good day. The town would thrive for nearly 200 years until AD 250, when a radical change occurred in response to conflicts within the empire and attacks by Saxon and Frankish raiders in the English Channel. Buildings in the centre of the town were demolished and replaced by a small fort. Shortly afterwards, this fort was replaced by another when the monumental arch was dismantled and its materials reused. The second fort, which was built in stone sometime in the period of AD 275, is the most prominent feature on the site today. It formed part of the chain of coastal forts that defended the eastern and southern coasts of Britain from the late 3rd century. They are generally known as Saxon Shore forts. It also seems that Richborough continued to be important as the entrance to Britain. At the very end of the Roman administration of Britain, it may have well been the last site in the province of Britannia to which Roman coins would be supplied. This makes it one of the last remaining places of Roman official contact into the early 5th century. The Roman town would include its own amphitheatre, set on a low but prominent hill at the western edge of town. It was more than likely built at the earlier stages of the town's development. Amphitheatres like here at Richborough would have hosted wild beast fights, including animals like bears, boars and bulls. The arena might have also been the place where the executions of criminals would take centre stage, as well as those vicious, egotistical gladiators battling one another to show who was best to win the hearts of the town people watching. At the end point of the best sea crossing from France, with its ideal sheltered harbour, Richborough was perfectly situated to develop into a major port. The boom of the town was in the 2nd century. In the far corner of the site is the remains of an earlier timber mansio. A mansio was a mansion. It was similar to a modern day hotel. It was an inn for messengers and for officials on government business, and was then rebuilt in stone. As well as the mansio and the chapel, other buildings including shops would line the streets. These are now partly visible within the area of the later 3rd century stone-walled fort. Geophysical and aerial surveys, however, have shown that the town extended far beyond the confines of this later fort, covering at least an area of 21 hectares. Inside the museum, you'll find a number of interesting and fascinating items on display. On your visit, please be sure not to skip this part. It gives a great first glance why and what Richborough Roman Fort is all about. Since it was first excavated in the 1920s, the site has yielded some of the richest finds from any Roman site in Britain, including 56,000 coins, 460 brooches and more than 1,000 hairpins. The site museum will also display recent finds for the first time, including a glass cup made in the Middle East, testifying to luxury imports through the town, and hairpins including one in pure gold. Of course, we did not show everything on camera because we really want you to experience it firsthand, just what Richborough Roman Fort has to offer. The site is run and maintained by English Heritage, with a large car park, toilet facilities and a shop located in the museum. At the time of recording, we are in the off-peak winter months, and the site is only open on weekends. But be sure to check out the English Heritage website for further details on the opening times. So that's it for this week, and we really hope that you've enjoyed our explore around Richborough Roman Fort and Amphitheatre as much as we have. Please hit that like button, click on the notification bell and hit that subscribe button to see more just like this. We want to say a big thank you to our channel members and to our Patreons for all of their support. If you do fancy supporting us further, then please have a look in our description box below for more information. So we'll see you in the next one. Till next time.